Hello, happy new moon. Shalom. I'm setting up for the new moon activation reading right now. Tomorrow is technically the new moon, so the energy is already upon us and inside of us. And tomorrow is not only the new moon, new beginning, it's also a solar eclipse. So it's a new moon eclipse tomorrow. Super powerful. I feel so much energy running through me. So much. It's like a volcano is about to erupt, and so much is going on in my life, and I'm sure many of you can relate. This is a summertime new moon solar eclipse. Super powerful. So this activation for the new moon is an initiation. It's an activation to set us off on the path of this new beginning for this cycle, this monthly cycle that's just now beginning. So the questions that I like to ask, the answers that I'm looking for are all around what can you show us to foreshadow what is to come for this cycle? What are the lessons that we're going to be going through? So whatever you have on your mind, in your heart, just acknowledge it and then let it go for a moment. And then remember that space inside your heart that is an infinite space outside of time. That's protected by the highest light. That space inside of you, that infinite space, is where we're going to meet right now. So whatever you have on your mind or in your heart, just bless it, let it go for a second, and meet me in that infinite space. That space of infinite possibility. The void, where everything is birthed from. And in this cosmic womb, we are now meeting, and we're asking and thanking in advance that the archetypes show us the wisdom that is wanting to be heard and seen right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and split the deck. So continue connecting into that infinite space inside of you where we meet. And then, when you're ready, just send a golden thread or any color thread to the deck, or do whatever you need to do to connect with these cards that are right here, right now. Just remember, it's all mind, so allow your imagination to help you to connect to the deck right now, so that we can all be as close together as possible, so that we can all unite to create the biggest channel to open up for the most information to come through. All right. So what's something that we have left behind this last cycle that has opened up such a perfect space for us to work with this next cycle to allow new things to come in? What's a current challenge which becomes the gift and the bridge to the future? What does it look like at the end of this cycle? And what's the archetype that is an ally for this cycle? Okay, here we go. Okay, something that we're leaving behind is the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles is the earth, it's the physical plane. And Pentacles and Five also. Five is also the number of the physical plane. Five is the number of senses. The number of the fingers on our hands, the number of the toes on our feet, the number of man. And this card is all about working together to keep going, to keep trying, even through the trials and tribulations and challenges, remembering the hope of the tree of life, the everlasting tree of hope. So it's like this married couple is still going strong together through all their challenges, and behind them is the church that they were married in, and these lights in the shape of a tree are still alit, and that's their hope that's keeping them going. So this is something I feel right away as soon as I saw this, as soon as I flipped it over, is that we're leaving behind this idea that we need to go through trials and tribulations, and we're understanding more now that there's an ebb and flow to life, and how that manifests in the details is not something for us to worry about or get hooked on, because there's so much more that requires our presence. And those are things that are natural byproducts of the decisions we actually do have to worry about or think about or make. So it's not up to us whether or not we're going to suffer, how we're going to suffer, what that's going to look like. There's the ebb and flow in life. And we're leaving behind this idea that we need to work so hard and that the hope will always be right there, but not in arm's reach. No, it's right there and we're going to grab it. There's a time for this card. There's a time for this lesson. And now it's the one that we're leaving behind. Okay, the future I'm going to pull next. Powerful. I was feeling a major arcana coming, and that's this. And it's the 11 in this Rider-Waite deck. And it's the card of justice. So we're moving to a future that is represented by this archetype. Justice, fairness, equality, sword of truth in hand, scales in the other, allowing the truth to lead us, allowing our truth to lead us to a place of equality, balance, fairness, and a life of authenticity for all beings. A safe and just place for all beings to authentically be who they are. And if we're wanting to get to this space, we have to cross this bridge, this in-between. We have to go through the middle part of this cycle. What is the journey going to be about? What is the challenge that when we ace that challenge, it transmutes the energies, it alchemizes the energy into a gift? And we have another 5. So far we have 2 5s and an 11. So here we go, another 5. It's the 5 of cups. Cups is the heart of emotions. Water, the heart. And this is the card of disappointment. Looking at what's spilled and forgetting that there still are 2 cups standing behind us. This card is also quality over quantity. It's not so much about how much, it's about what is it? What is the quality? What is the value of what is inside? So we can look at these cups like trophies of the heart, experiences that we have emotionally invested ourselves in. And if we fail this challenge, what it looks like is crying and lamenting too much over the past and those spilled cups or those things that didn't quite work out. And we can get stuck there and not see that there are opportunities knocking behind us, ones that are more powerful, ones that, of course, are on perfect time, divine time. When we remember, actually, that everything is in divine timing, that there's a divine order to everything, it helps us to look away from what has spilled or stop thinking about what we lost and then really pick ourselves up and see what's still there, because there's always the new, there's always the next. And we've got to see that nothing is ever really lost. On this plane, when we gain and lose things, it's all impermanent anyway. But the real work that we do in love, and this is the suit of cups in the heart, the real work that we do there, and the real emotions that we invest in these relationships and situations, that work that's done can never be lost. It's what you carry inside of you for lifetimes, forever. So we can rationalize in this way when on this plane we feel that we've lost something, or we feel like we put in so much work and it's all spilled on the floor, you know. We can remind ourselves, by our higher selves coming down and into our bodies, calling that in and reminding ourselves, hey, nothing can really be lost. And because you have that wisdom with you, you can allow it to strengthen you, to help you move forward here now, rather than wasting not time, because that's also impermanent, but wasting your energies, your love, your heart. And again, waste, whatever. It's not, nothing's ever a waste. Eventually you learn and you pick up from where you left off, but your highest self wants you to heal and be whole and feel happy right here, right now. That's the only difference. So your highest self wants you to progress. It's not a matter of time so much as it's a matter of like wanting you to be filled with the most love here now. So yes, your highest self would say to you, remember that nothing's ever truly lost. And there's only ever love to gain. So rather than crying over what you think you lost, we can remember it's an illusion and go to gather more love where it's waiting to be found, where it wants to be found, where divine order has set it on your path for a reason that sometimes we can't see because we're too busy crying over what we lost, right? So when we turn this challenge into a gift, we do just that. We remember quality over quantity, and we remember there's always more love to be had, and that's why we're here, and everything else is just lessons, good distractions, little lessons that pull us off the path, which we're still really on the path, but pull us off to these little, side games so that we can make the most of each of these lessons, make the most of each of these moments, and get the most gold from them. So this is one of those. This is our one to look for right now. Watch for this, because we should be so excited when these opportunities come up. over the next few weeks, when you go through these experiences of feeling like you want to be depressed or upset or anxious about the past or what's lost, remember to use that as a red flag to kind of trigger you into that great magician, to alchemize those moments and say, I'm going to ace this lesson. I know what this is. I remember. And we're going to say, okay, instead of looking at what love appears lost, I'm going to look for that love that's waiting to be found. Where can I cultivate more love? Where can I cultivate more deepness, more depth, more richness in my relationships? That's where I'm going to focus my energies. And every time we do that, we go from the dark side of this card and bring it into the light. We receive a gift, like one of these little trophies, a little cup of the heart. And that gift, that trophy, it becomes one after the next. As we pass these lessons, it's like they line up one after the next, and they become the bridge that we walk across over to the future. So look for those lessons and don't be afraid. Welcome them. And know that also this is a collective reading. So it's for the collective. It's for you individually, but it's also for all of us together. And remembering that is a key, because it really helps you to instantly breathe in so much inspiration and power that alone you just could not have. But simply by becoming aware of it, you connect to that universal mind where we all meet, and you can access all of the power to do what you and what we need to do here now. And the card that is the ally right now, and this archetype is calling out to us saying, remember me, I'm going to help make this journey the most graceful journey possible, is the Queen of Wands. I only pulled one card all day yesterday for somebody, and that she was the one that came up for the card that wants to be embodied right now. So it really is a collective thing, you guys. She is our aid and ally right now. The Queen of Wands is the water of fire. She's the emotions behind the spontaneity. She is the heart that drives the wand to make its magic. The Queen of Wands knows what she wants. She's clear on what her heart wants, and she's full of that solar energy and power and fire to make it happen, to bring it into manifestation. And she's mature enough that she can connect with others through that heart space. She can hear the advice and words of others. But ultimately, she's very strong in what she wants, and she goes after it. She is a spontaneous heart. Going after, on fire, going after that which she knows she wants. And so long as we embody this archetype and we know and align what we want with that of the divine, what the divine wants, when we align our will with the divine's, then we access the full potential of this wisdom. We access the full gifts that come of embodying this archetypal message. So as we go through this challenge right now, the Five of Cups, every time we walk into these situations where we want to regret or be sad about something that didn't quite work out, we're going to remember her, and we're going to remember where those opportunities lie right now for multiplying love, where it's waiting for us, where it's waiting to be found. And we're just going to go after it on fire, go to it. So not only are we not going to focus on the cups that have spilled, we're going to, in a fiery way, focus on those that are standing. And we're going to make the most of those opportunities that are surrounding us right now. We're not going to be blinded by the past. We're not going to fall for that trap. No. We're going to look for all those situations that are calling out to us now. What a fun game. What a fun game. And we're all doing it together. How awesome. So remember, guys, we're leaving behind all those ideas of how much or how little we need to suffer before we can reach that light, the light of the magic of what it is we're wanting to manifest. It's not up to us. Those details are not up to us, thank goodness, because we only complicate it when we think in that way. And so we just went through these lessons and we're leaving that behind. We're leaving that behind. Ready to let go of our old stories of what it's going to take before we can get there. We're there right here, right now. And the way that we're going to manifest that fair and just reality for everyone is by all doing our work right now and not focusing on what has spilled, but focusing on what still stands and giving our fullest to it. Connecting our heart to those cups that are waiting to be filled. Connecting our heart to those hearts that are waiting to be loved and filled. And then just going after it with full confidence. Let's look for those hearts that need love right now and forget about where we were giving it. Because if we're really being present, we can't we can't be wrong. If we're really being present and forgetting about where we were putting it, if a situation presents itself that needs love, whether it's an old face or a new one, we're going to be present enough to connect to our own hearts and know what and when to give. Know how much to give. So we can kind of, with this new moon, allow it to wash our memories clean, to just be present and to give love right here, right now, and to offer ourselves to those situations that maybe are really new. So what if we were giving everything to an old cup? Maybe that cup doesn't need it anymore. But regardless, we don't have to over-rationalize anything. We don't have to over-analyze anything. We can just be here right now and see what cups need to be filled and fill them. Wouldn't it be so silly if we're like, oh, dang, I spilled this cup, and our whole lives we sit there lamenting over this spilled cup. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Meanwhile, there's all these cups surrounding us, and by the time we look up and see how many cups have been waiting to be filled, the life is over because it's fleeting. And then we'll come back and do it all over again. Maybe. But the point is, right now, to fill the cups that are looking to be filled. Whether that's your own, or the person next to you, or a family member, or a friend, or a stranger, if we only be present, we'll know exactly where our heart is needed. Happy new moon. Happy solar eclipse. Thank you for taking the journey with me. See you soon. Aloha.